because you don't have to sell it, because you bought it, because you're committed to it. You're married to it. So I think that Buffett sets a good example there. He bought Coca-Cola stock 50 years ago or something. He still holds Coca-Cola stock. And I think when you raise the bar to that standard, it makes things a lot easier. What it says is you're gonna make a decision. They're gonna make an allocation, and then you're not gonna stress out every day, every minute, every week, every month staring at the price. The concept of bear market only makes sense if you have a short enough time horizon. Like if you're a trader and your time horizon is 12 weeks, you can have a bear market. But if you have a 10-year time horizon, then you really have to ask yourself, what is the technology trend and what is the cultural trend? There's going to be volatility. But, like if you bought Amazon stock 10 years ago, you could have bought it for $250 a share. People would have said you're stupid, And if you were holding Amazon stock 20 years ago, it traded down 90%, right? Well, the world's second richest or richest man was stupid enough not to sell when it traded down 90%. When Facebook came public, the stock traded down 60% or something. It crashed, and Mark Zuckerberg didn't sell. And so, the real secret to success is you figure out the technology trend over a decade, over between 10 and 30 years, and then you just either make that asset or hold that asset.
No.
And you don't really obsess over short-term cycles because you outsmart yourself. You'll be that guy that, you'll be convinced we're in a bear cycle, you'll sell, and then all of a sudden some piece of news will come out, the price will double, and you'll never get back in. And it will, it's like it'll run away from you. So I don't think anybody's smart enough to time the market. Warren Buffett said, if you wouldn't hold that thing for 10 years, you shouldn't hold it for 10 minutes. So if you start with this just Warren Buffett idea, find high quality property, high quality assets that you believe in. And if you're not sure you would hold it for 10 years, instead of investing in it, you probably should invest in learning more about it, right? Study something long enough, right? But Google, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Bitcoin. Study something long enough that you believe in it. When you buy it with a 10-year idea and be thinking, I'm going to just hold this investment. I'm going to hold this asset for a decade. By the way, the same is true with a house. If I bought a house, I wouldn't buy a house that I expected to sell in 3 years or 2 years. If you don't think you can live the rest of your life in that house, you could rent. When you buy a property, if you buy a piece of art, buy something that you love, that you're going to be committed to for a long period of time, because that's a higher test. And I think when people buy stuff and they're like, well, I know it's got bugs and I know there are problems, but I'm not going to keep it that long, right? What you've done is you've lowered your standards. When you buy your dream home and you say, I'm going to retire here and live here the rest of my life, you don't live in fear that you have to find some other sucker to sell it to, because you don't have to sell it. Because you bought it, because you're committed to it, you're married to it. So I think that Buffett sets a good example there. He bought Coca-Cola stock 50 years ago or something. He still holds Coca-Cola stock. And I think when you raise the bar to that standard, it makes things a lot easier. What it says is you're gonna make a decision. They're gonna make an allocation, and then you're not gonna stress out every day, every minute, every week, every month staring at the price.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
Like if you went every dinner party, if you went out and you got drunk and then you met everybody and you said, hey, I want to show you my house. How much will you give me for it right now? People would be, you paid whatever, 500,000 euros for it. And someone's like, I'll give you 400,000 euros. You'd be so depressed. How much will you give me for it? I'll give you 600,000. You're ecstatic. And then, 2 a.m. and you're really drunk. How much? And then you find someone who's even drunker than you. How much will you give me for it? 300,000. Now you're really depressed. Now I'm going to slit my wrist. It's because you're continually overindulging in this exercise. If you just said, this is my beautiful house. I love it. I'm going to live in it the rest of my life. Then it's a totally different situation. If I look at all the mistakes that I made, just about every investment I ever made was a good one because I only bought good things. All my mistakes are, I wish I bought more. And my second mistake is I'm sad that I ever sold it for any reason. Once you figure out what you love, then you buy it. And then your question really is, well, if I'm going to sell it, what's better than what I'm already holding? And that's what I would ask anybody that's selling Bitcoin right now. That's what I was asking when it was 10,000 a coin. I said, who are these people selling this to me? Like, what could they possibly be buying with the money I'm giving them that's better than what I'm buying from them?
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really, really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.